YouTube.me shut down on 15 December, and YouTube channel called Sovereignty International is deleted. I made the exclusive content available on my website. There are two subscription levels, and I accept cryptocurrencies. I've also raised the rates a little bit for my videos, but anybody who currently has videos at the previous rates will stay at those rates as long as they maintain those subscriptions. So the new rates are $29.99 a year for the videos only, and $49.99 a year for the videos plus unlimited consultations. Now, there is some limitations on the kind of consultations that I can do because I'm not a liar. Well, I meant an attorney. No, actually, I meant a liar. Because, but I can tell you what I would do in a certain circumstance and where to find the forms. Now, the unlimited consultations does not include phone calls. It does not include babysitting. It does not include preparing documents or reviewing documents. When I say babysitting, that means, getting 5 emails a day, about how to do this and how to do that. If you have a situation and explain your situation to me, I can tell you what I would do under that circumstance. If you need somebody to hold your hand to fill out a form, then that's called preparing documents or reviewing documents. You see what I'm saying? And that's not included in that. But I'm available to help with that. But again, that requires a donation. The important thing to understand here is the only power that these New World Order Satanists have over us is through fraud and deception, and my agenda is to expose it for all our benefit, but I cannot fight the battles. I need other people that are bringing up the right issues that are on point and fighting the battles as well. If you want to get a subscription as a donation, it's a modest donation. There's no doubt about it, but a whole bunch of people chipping in a little bit, and it can add up pretty fast. So everything's appreciated. I'm currently publishing 1 video a week, and also at the bottom I have links to the sovereigntyinternational.fyi. The top link is to a page that has all of my videos listed in an organized sort of way based on certain categories or types of videos, so it makes them easy to find, because they're not necessarily easy to find on YouTube. So the free videos are on the top link. The subscriber videos are on the bottom link. And now you can go to that link on the bottom link, and if you don't have a subscription, it won't help you. Because you'll still won't be able to see the videos, but the at any rate, there's where the videos are located. You can find there's links to all those videos on my website. It makes it a lot easier to find the videos when you're watching them, so you can look at them or watch the videos based on areas of study that you're working on, and that kind of thing. Anyways. Some of my exclusive content is Arlington Private Information Share, which is 9 videos alone. I also have a land deed training, a couple land deed training videos. I've also got estoppel certificates training. I've got foreclosure estoppel certificates training. I've got corporate denial training. I've got toll roads notice and demand training. I've got invoice training. I've got notice of void judgment training. There's also revocation of signature training, third-party witness training, federal habeas corpus training, revocation of voter registration training, criminal complaint training, and I've actually got several videos for criminal complaint training, and there are probably more as I come up with issues that people need to be aware of. Lawsuit training. Okay, everybody, this one is the notice of void judgment. The actual document is looks like 42 pages, plus it's got about another 50 pages of attachments. So you just when they take jurisdiction, and just completely ignore your challenge to jurisdiction and take jurisdiction and start assaulting you, basically, then you just file a notice of void judgment. And that's what this is. And the notice of court setting issued by the clerk of the court after Lacey Britton took jurisdiction without authority after ending a plea without authority and is completely and utterly void and a fraud and a nullity for the following reasons. And notice sometimes they stamp every page, sometimes they just do the front page, whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyways, Deer Park Cash Cow LLC, aka State of Texas, versus and this U.S. Kangaroo Court. Anyways, don't get me going. Texas is under military occupation and has been since 1863 when the Union Army invaded Galveston. The occupation continues to this day because there's been no treaty of peace and there have been no special proclamations. Martial law does not cease during the hostile occupation except by special proclamation ordered by the Commander-in-Chief or by special mention in the treaty of peace concluding the war. All police are military police. All military police are privateers operating on the high seas of commerce. And because they're all U.S. citizens from the District of Columbia operating under international law. And then Special Title 18, Section 7, Special Maritime Territorial Jurisdiction of the United States defined. And then there's some court cases that talk about martial law. Under Texas, under the Federal Tax Lien Act of 1966. Martial law only affects subjects of the enemy and aliens, and subjects of the enemy are government employees and corporations, anything created by government. Under McCullough versus Maryland, all subjects over which the sovereign power of the state extends are objects of taxation, but those over which it does not extend are exempt from taxation. This proposition may also be pronounced as self-evident. The sovereignty of the state extends to everything which exists by its authority or its permission, or have received privileges by way of contract, and that's Carlisle versus United States. The rights of sovereignty extend to all persons and things not privileged that are within the territory. And so, on subjects are subject to the regulations, and therefore property and slaves are property. So then U.S. Constitution, Article 4, Section 3, Clause 2, the Congress shall have power to dispose of and make all needful rules and regulations respecting the other property belonging to the United States. Okay, so if you're subject to the regulations, you are a slave. And this is true in all corporations masquerading as governments. Owned, and this is Canadian Ownership and Control Determination Act. Owned means subject to the regulations. Military jurisdictions, two kinds, statutes and the common law of war, and all statutes, codes, rules, and regulations are edicts under martial law. So-called judge is actually a bought and paid for clerk masquerading as a judge, and there's lots of court cases that talk about it. If you want to read the court cases, pause the video. I'm going to start skipping through this because we've got a lot of material to cover. So it's a violation of the Constitution. It's a bill of attainder. Okay, it's actually a bill of pains and penalties. Okay, a bill of pains and penalties. Bill of attainder is a legislative act, no matter what their form, that apply either to named individuals or to easily ascertainable members of a group in such a way as to inflict punishment on them without a judicial trial. Okay, well, that's exactly what they're doing, is there's no judicial trial. The Bill of Pains and Penalties is a legislative act, though similar to a Bill of Attainder, prescribes punishment less severe than capital punishment. So a Bill of Attainder is the death penalty, and the Bill of Pains and Penalties is where they jail or anything but capital punishment. And both of those is a violation of the Constitution. Bill of Attainders, Article 1, Section 9, Clause 3, and Article 1, Section 10, Clause 1. And any bought and paid for a clerk that's enforcing administrative law and pretending to be a judge does not have the authority to do anything judicial, like issue orders or warrants. And if any clerk pretending to be a judge attempts to do anything judicial, it's a fraud and a nullity, and they accept all liability. Ministerial officers are incompetent to receive grants of judicial power from the legislature. Their acts in attempting to exercise such powers are necessarily nullities. When there's no jurisdiction, there's no judge. Lacey Britton entered a plea while operating as a military commissioner under martial law after threatening contempt, which is what military commissioners do under a military martial law dictatorship, which means that Britton's not competent to do anything judicial like enter a plea. The Euless Peg Graham admits that he witnessed no crime in the police report, true copy of which is attached here too, all of which is incorporated herein by reference in its entirety. And the reason for the stop was the Republic of Texas plate, and the charges are Class C misdemeanors, which are punishable by fine only, which brings in the Clearfield Doctrine. I'm not sure if I got the Clearfield Doctrine in this particular one, but I'm going to be in the future ones. So then Graham had no probable cause to stop me, and so therefore there's no it's false arrest. Britain has full knowledge that the defendant in error has a right to own consumer goods instead of business equipment. I've got a right to travel with my private property on the public highway. Motor vehicle is carrying passengers or property for hire. And then bring in the corporate denial, okay, the affidavit of corporate denial. That's why you want to have that thing filed and recorded in the county, because they have to recognize it, and you can attach it to a notice of void judgment or other document you file into these kangaroo courts, and it creates a problem for them. Big problem. Anyways, talks about the two national governments and even 2 state governments. And then the defendant in error is entitled to a Republican form of government. That's Article 4, Section 4. The Constitution fails to include military commissioners operating under martial law. The Republican form of government fails to include any star chambers. Britain has demonstrated she intends to insult with her quasi-contract. And the Texas Penal Code is an action for breach of contract. It's a civil suit. The words penalty are in the strict primary sense denote of punishment, whether corporal or pecuniary, imposed and enforced by the state for a crime or offense against its laws. The non-penalty is defined forfeiture to be forfeited for non-compliance with an agreement. And it's all ecclesiastical. U.S. citizens assessed to K Trust. A name is hearsay. Anyways, I go through and I build a case. This one here is not one of my most recent ones. The most recent ones are going to be going to have stuff about Clearfield Doctrine in there, and about the fact that their oath of office is to me, and I'm the king. And they're perjuring their oath. Anyways, so this goes through some Texas statutes. So you're going to have to, if you're in another state, you can use these in Texas, but if you want to use them in another state, you got to come up with statutory citations from your state. So we're on page 24. So this is going through felonies that she's intended to conspire with the prosecutor, the bailiffs, and others to threaten, injure, intimidate, injure, and oppress in the free exercise of his right to a Republican form of government, intended to subject the defendant to the deprivation of his right to travel, intended to conspire with the others to threaten, intimidate, injure, oppress in the free exercise of his right to travel. So you just you throw everything you can at them. Now what will happen is it's a void judgment. That's why you file. It's a notice of void judgment. It's brutum fulmen. She's in bad behavior. Fundamental right of a party to have a neutral and detached judge. Intends to be a military commissioner under martial law. Has falsely accused of being a defendant, thereby demonstrating as prejudged, because a defendant is someone accused of a crime. Has demonstrated she fails to be neutral and unbiased. And you just go in step by step. And all the felonies that she's involved in. So there'll be a Word file under this video. When I publish the video, I upload the Word file to Google Docs, and there'll be a link to it underneath the video. Okay, so you'll be able to get it there. If I have problems with censorship on the part of YouTube, then I will upload it, and it'll be the same thing though. I'll upload it to the library or to Brighteon, and you'll be able to get it there. And the link will be, I'll still have it in my Google Docs, and there'll be a link below to Google Docs. Or my Google Drive. I'm sorry, my Google Drive. Not Google Docs. Google Drive. Anyways, ignorance of the law is no excuse. United Nations clerks masquerading as judges in Texas are impersonating a public official, which is a felony. Required to recuse herself, but she cannot remain neutral. And this is the felonies that she's involved in. And there's the corporate denial affidavit. Okay? You should have had it recorded. If you don't get these things recorded, you got a problem. If you don't have it recorded, you need to get an affidavit and attach it as evidence. Make an affidavit. It's better to have it recorded, way better, but at least have an affidavit of corporate denial, and the statement of original status is like really powerful. Let's find it here, right here. You go through your ancestors, and you go back. My ancestors go back to 1760 in the Virginia colony. So the point being is that brings it. I'm a judicial power citizen by right of blood, and the right of blood and kindred cannot be destroyed by any civil law. So they cannot do anything about that. The United States has no authority to go outside constitutional limitations. Emergency does not create power. They have no authority to delegate police power to municipal corporations anyways. This is the corporate denial affidavit. So you need to, and you need to watch my video about corporate denial affidavit. Not that one. The one about the Foreign Sovereign Immunity Act. That's with Al Barcroft. He's passed away now, but he's pretty brilliant, and he says anybody can claim it, even people of color, whether you're, no matter what color, because who knows who was sleeping with who in the 1700s, and who's going to call you a liar, even if you make it up. That's what he says. So I'm not telling you what to do, okay? But if it was me, I'd make it up. But I didn't in this case. This is absolute. My mother did the research, and my mother was big time into genealogy. She did all this research, and she had ancestors. There's a family story. My middle name is Whittingham, and there's a family story about some guy in England by the name of Buckingham, as in Buckingham Palace where the Queen lives. Anyways, some guy in England back in the 1600s that got in these duels, and he kept winning the duels. And the families of the people, if you win the duel, you kill the other guy, right? And the families were coming after him, wanting to get him into duels. And he didn't want to be getting into all these duels. So he came to America and changed his name to Whittingham, and that's my mother's maiden name. That's how I got it to be a middle name. So anyways, so this is all legit. My mother did a huge amount of research. She went on a genealogical mission for the church. So she is big time, or was. She's passed away now. But anyway, so and there's a pedigree chart. So I'm saying basically, if you don't like this ancestor, I got a whole bunch more you can pick from. See, Jason McDonald, 1817. Anything before the Civil War is all you really need. But if you can get it before the War of Independence, then that's great. That's even better. And so here's 1732, 1756, 1792, 1760. There's all sorts of them in here. 1782, 1755, 1724, 1714, 1749. I mean, I got loads of them that are way back when, 1705, 1665. And so she did a huge, this is all her research. This is my mother did this research. She's done a huge amount of research. So the point being is that the pedigree chart is basically saying, if you don't like this ancestor, I got a bunch more you can pick from. And so the point being is, this is a notice of void judgment, okay? And anytime they just take jurisdiction, then that's time for the notice of void judgment. And then you do a bar complaint, and the bar complaint is another video. You attach the notice of void judgment. And that's why you want the corporate denial, and you want to attach your evidence to the notice of void judgment. And then that notice of void judgment, once it has all their stamps all over it, see here at the top corner, they stamped every page. And thank you very much, I appreciate it. They stamped every page. And so once they stamp whatever, the first page or all the pages, then you attach it all together, and that notice of void judgment, now you break it off in their ass, is what you do. And you take it and you file bar complaints against them, and that's your evidence. They can't say that, oh, I didn't know. Yes, they knew, because it's filed into their court. And now they got a problem. And so this is all how you build a case. And so anyways, that's about it. This is a short one on the notice of void judgment. The document, a Word file, will be attached, will be below the video, and you'll be able to, it'll be at my Google Drive. You'll be able to download it and manipulate it. If you want me to review it, I'm available for a fee, and I'll help you juice it up, depending on what you have that you can use. You need a corporate denial affidavit for sure, and you might have some other stuff that you can use too. So again, you're building a case. That's what you got to do, is build a case against these criminals. And I'm starting to wonder if the Republic isn't dead, because these bar members, we need to stretch some of their necks, quite frankly, in my opinion. And but I wouldn't deny them due process like they do to everybody else. I'd make sure they got lots of due process. I wouldn't want to be as bad as them. And so I would definitely, but I'd like to see some get their necks stretched. It wouldn't take too many, and the rest of them find out real quick they'd fall right into line. Quite frankly, we need to run these bar members out of the country. These are all Roman cult Satanists is what they are. Don't get me going. You're going to get me going here. Anyways, this will get you started on the notice of void judgment. And you just go through step by step and explain why it's void. It's a complete nullity. And in fact, I had one bar member set me up with the chief administrative judge for getting the judge recused. And but I wouldn't give him jurisdiction. I told him, I didn't give you jurisdiction before, and I'm not giving it to you now. And in fact, I might even attach that video to the end of this one, so that you can see what I recorded it. I wasn't supposed to be recording it. It's kind of a poor quality, but you can hear him talking, and it's poor quality, but you can hear him talking. And I told him, I didn't give you jurisdiction before, and I'm not giving it to you now. And so he basically denied the motion, but he didn't take jurisdiction. Okay, he didn't deny that he didn't have jurisdiction. And so, anyways, so we'll see. Anyways, you just got to give it your best shot and just break it off in their butt. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Copies of these documents can be found in my private group at Yahoo called Administrating-Your-Public-Servants. For a complete set of YouTube videos with private information, shares a DVD with over 50 searchable law dictionaries and other books and forms, contact me privately at engineerwin@yahoo.com. Donations to support this work are appreciated. I prefer gold or silver coin, but as an extremely less desirable alternative, I can accept the military script, the IOUs, the Federal Reserve notes, the PayPal gifts, the checks, the money orders. Send me an email for particulars.
Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow me on Steemit. And that's at Sovereignty International. Don't forget to like this video. On YouTube, don't forget to click the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified when there's a new upload. On Steemit, don't forget to vote and make your comments. And I've also got some videos uploaded to BitChute. This is my front page of my YouTube channel. Notice the arrow is pointing at the bell, and the subscribe button's already been clicked. That's why it's checked. Normally it would be red. And then when you click on that bell, that one there is not clicked because doesn't look like it's ringing. When you click on it, a pop-up comes up, and there's a box you have to check to be notified about uploads. This is Steemit. The left arrow is where you click to upvote an article. The middle arrow is how many votes it's got, and the right arrow is where you make comments. And this is Steemit again, and the arrow is pointing at Crypto Wallet. There's a hand there. When you move your mouse there and touch the profile name, this pop-up window comes down, and that's where you can follow or unfollow someone. My vid.me channel was shut down on the 15th of December, and YouTube channel called Sovereignty International is now free. YouTube changed all of their stuff, and so they were basically going to make that channel private. And so none of the videos would have been available, so I figured I'd just make them all free, except for the exclusive content. Now, the exclusive content is still there, but it's private, and it's available on my website. And I have 2 subscription levels, and I accept the cryptocurrencies. My one subscription level is $2.99 a month or $19.99 a year for the videos only. Then for also, you can, for $4.99 a month or $39.99 a year, you can get the videos plus unlimited consultations. Now, there's limits as to what I can do with my consultations. And because I am not a liar. No, I meant an attorney. No, I meant a liar. So what I do is I will tell you what I would do in a certain situation, and tell you where to find the forms. That's about the extent of the consultations that I would be able to do. But I would be available for unlimited consultations for whatever problems you have. Either for $4.99 a month or for $39.99 a year. The only power that these New World Order Satanists have over us is through fraud, deception, and my agenda is to expose it for all our benefit. And I cannot fight all the battles. I need more people fighting on point. And that's why I do all of this, so that people can understand what's going on. And when they challenge things, they can make sure they're on point. And so if you want to subscribe as a donation, I mean, it's certainly a modest donation, but every little bit helps. And a whole bunch of people chipping in a little bit, it adds up. And so it's all appreciated. I'm currently publishing a video a week, and I expect that that's the way it's going to be for a while. Some of the exclusive content is my Arlington private information share. I've got land deed training. I've got estoppel certificates training. I've got foreclosure estoppel certificates training. I got corporate denial training. I got toll roads notice and demand training, invoice training, notice of void judgment training. I've also got revocation of signature training, third-party witness training, federal habeas corpus training, revocation of voter registration training, criminal complaint training. I've also going to have lawsuit training. I've actually got a couple of criminal complaint training, and I'll probably have more. And then other training requests that may be requested, I'll put those up as well. Now, all the forms, files, and other instructions are available for free on my 2 private groups at Yahoo Groups and Google Groups. And so this training and the stuff that's in the exclusive content is really above and beyond what you really need. So if you want the training, then that's, you got to pay for it. But otherwise, everything else is free on my Yahoo group and my Google group. And the exclusive content will be on my website, and you can buy a subscription there. My blog is sovereigntyinternational.wordpress.com. My website is sovereigntyinternational.fyi. My email address is engineerwin@yahoo. My YouTube profile, Sovereign Living and Sovereignty International. My Facebook community page, I deleted it due to censorship on the part of Facebook. My private group at Facebook called Sovereignty International is being deleted. Facebook is a has-been. I don't even go there. I haven't been there for months. But if I wanted to go there and ban everybody off my group, that's the way I would delete it, because I'm not going to let Facebook profit from my hard work. Meanwhile, I have friends that are basically on there managing things, and they can have at her for all I care. Anyways, my Yahoo private group is called Administrating-Your-Public-Servants. My Google private group is called Administrating-Your-Public-Servants. And follow me on Twitter at EngineerWin. Follow me on Steemit at Sovereignty International. And there's a link to my BitChute channel, although I don't have all my videos uploaded there. There's only a few. Well, there's quite a few. I've got quite a few, but still, it's not all of them. Check out my other videos: Bankster Thieves Playlist, Roman Cult Playlist, Bankrupt Corporate So-Called Governments, Bar Members 1 through 3, Do-It-Yourself How Not to Volunteer for the Selective Service in the Draft, Martial Law is Here, Do-It-Yourself No Income Tax, Do-It-Yourself Free Mail, Do-It-Yourself Kangaroo Courts 1 through 13, Canada Border Pigs Playlist, Bar Members and their Satanic Connections Playlist.
Hello?
Mr. Fern, is that you?
Well, I'm not your Roman cult Sesta K Trust, if that's what you're wondering.
Just wondering who's connected to us. You're muted.
Are you Mr. Fern?
I'm not your Roman cult Sesta K Trust, if that's what you're wondering.
If you don't answer the question, the hearing will not start, Mr. Fern. How do you want to proceed?
I'm not your Roman cult Sesta K Trust. I didn't give you jurisdiction in the first place, and I'm not giving it to you now.
Very well. Since you're not giving jurisdiction, then I assume you're not going to make a presentation. And since you're not submitting to the court, the motion will be taken up on its merits on the writings. Is there anything, if you want to make a presentation, then you're going to have to submit to the jurisdiction. That's it. If you want to make an oral statement, you're going to have to identify yourself. You're going to have to identify yourself if you belong, Mr. Glenn Winning Fern. If you do not wish to make a presentation, then you will continue to be non-responsive. I've made myself clear. One more time. Are you Mr. Fern?
I think the notice of void judgment speaks for itself.
Very well. The question is and answered. The person who has appeared has failed to identify themselves. Failed to identify themselves. The court cannot proceed. Fern to speak. Mr. Fern, if